What's up, everybody? Fusion64 here, and today I wanted to talk about a little game called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Before I do that, do me a favor, if you're new here, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. So, I mostly play on PlayStation. I'd say 70-80% PlayStation and the other 20 to 30 Nintendo Switch. I like to play Nintendo's big games each year, and, of course, I'm going to play The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, as Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. And I gotta say, I was super hyped for this game, and it has delivered so far. I'd say I'm about 15 to 20 hours into the game, and I thought I'd give my early thoughts on how I feel about it, what I think, how does it compare to Breath of the Wild. I will let you know right off the bat, there will not be any story spoilers in this, just maybe some gameplay spoilers. So if you are very concerned about that, I suggest turning off the video, but I'm not going to spoil really anything for you here. First of all, let me say, I started playing this, and right off the bat, it feels like home being back in this world. Although I will say, it has changed quite a bit. The landmarks are still really there from Breath of the Wild, but like in between, the spaces feel really new. There's so much more things to do in this game compared to Breath of the Wild. Like, I'm shocked at the amount of things to do in this game. You could really just get lost in this world, and it's not just like shrines. Like in the Breath of the Wild, I felt like most of the stuff you're doing was shrines and Koroks. There's a ton of quests. There's tons of things to do. There's people out there in the world that give you quests. There's things to do like this right here. This guy's got a sign he wants to hold up. I'm using one of my new abilities here to hold it up for him, and this guy's all over the world. So, like, you could honestly get lost in this and not even really touch the main quests for a really long time. That's what I love about this game. It's just about exploration, finding new things to do. Nintendo does such a great job of placing, like, landmarks, like, and you'd see that and like, oh, that looks interesting. You go there and check it out, and you're rewarded with something. It's one of my favorite things about this series. I swear, all the new abilities that they've given you are so much fun to use. The fuse ability, where you can fuse weapons with almost anything in the game, it just makes for such fun weapon combinations. I ran into a cave and found some bokoblins, and they were using a stick with a bass fused to the top of it, and I just started dying and laughing. It was so funny. The building, you building all kinds of different objects. You can build vehicles, like... This is someone who likes to craft things. This is like a dream game for you. Another thing, I started playing, I was about 10 hours in, and I'm like, man, everything about this game is just better than Breath of the Wild. But it didn't grab me. It didn't have that newness of Breath of the Wild. So I'm like, well, while I'm loving this, it's not hitting me like Breath of the Wild until I got the first dungeon, and I will say it was amazing. It blew my mind. The first dungeon has some incredible set pieces, like some of the best set pieces I've ever played in a game. And the boss battle of the first dungeon I faced was absolutely mind-blowing. And that's when it really hit me that this game is something special. Because before then, I was wondering, is this going to be my game of the year? I was really shocked. But yeah, after that boss battle, after the first temple, like, yep, I was like, all right, this is probably going to end up being my game of the year. I think Nintendo definitely did a really smart thing by keeping the main world and just building and adding into it like it's a living world. And that's something I'd really like to see other developers use when they were making an open world game, maybe, is keep the same world for a sequel, but add new mechanics, make the world feel more lived in. And yeah, I was really surprised that I love it so much. I thought that like maybe revisiting it again would be an issue, but it really hasn't. And yeah, I'm trying not to get too excited and explain too much, as I don't want to spoil this game for anybody, because it's definitely something you want to experience yourself and not to be spoiled about. So yeah, I have to say 20 hours in, I'm absolutely loving this game. I 100% recommend it. I've even seen people say that they weren't Breath of the Wild fans, and they are absolutely loving this game. So if Breath of the Wild wasn't for you, I'd still say maybe try and check this out, because there's a good chance that you might actually love this game if you didn't love Breath of the Wild. They do change up the formula a little bit. It's a little bit more streamlined, and if you like building things in games, I would 100% recommend this game. So let me know in the comments below, what are you thinking about this game? What's your favorite thing about it? Are you playing it? Have you decided to play it? Or is it a pass for you? Once again, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content. Fusion64 out.